and I'll share my screen in a moment. So yeah, official recorded welcome to this Siebel Friday, end of July 2026. So we are looking at, of course, as is tradition on the Siebel Friday, we look at first at the new Siebel release, which comes out every month like clockwork, thanks to Oracle. And we have something to look at in terms of bookshelf and, of course, the new binaries and bug fixes and new features. And this month, there are several interesting new features and enhancements. So let me get that slideshow going. Sorry, I have to move stuff around a little bit. There we go. All right. So yeah, here's the list, basically, what is in 26.7. So you have probably heard about and pricked your ears at Siebel AI connector. So there has to be AI in it. So otherwise it's not a valid release these days. And this one we'll take a closer look. And marketing, for those of you who use Siebel marketing in the old way, that is with integration with OBIE or Oracle Analytics, there has been some movement around us migrating from segments away from Segment Designer. So there's a utility here. REST gets some enhancements, both inbound and outbound. And also there is a trickle down from the digital business experience, I guess. It's an integration with the officially named Oracle Communications Launch Cloud Service. And also Oracle has published a statement of direction in July. So that's, of course, worth a look. And the Tomcat for the security guys, Tomcat is now 10.1.55. So that's the Tomcat needful. And of course, we are proudly sponsored by the Siebel Hub. And the Siebel Hub is the #1 resource, as you know, for always up-to-date Siebel training. And of course, we have new courses, and they're quite relevant for Siebel 26, I would say. Open integration, as you will see shortly. OpenUI web components, AI for Siebel professionals, and we haven't been sleeping, so there's also even more coming up. Especially AI, and even more especially so the AI connectors. So that means, well, what does that mean? When Oracle, maybe you remember way back, Siebel 22.10, that's almost 4 years. That was before the pre-ChatGPT era, or it was basically just launched. And in that release, Oracle launched the very first AI integration. It was OCI only, and you could run no generative AI yet, but you could just run, speech transcription. Remember those days? Those use cases for PII detection, speech transcription based on OCI services. Who remembers? Or anybody implemented that?
Yeah, I think you had put out a JBS with that stuff in it.
Uh, yeah, right. I wrote a JBS around the weird authentication mechanism that OCI had back in the day. Now they're API based for Gen AI, so it's much easier. So a lot has happened. In a nutshell, a lot has happened since this very first AI release. And this was all about use cases. So end users uh, enjoying enhancements in Siebel based on AI integration. So PII detection, for example, or speech transcription. So that was always the user initiating the call to the AI. Now with AI connectors, it basically turns around. So you create what is known as an MCP server. So if you're not familiar with that acronym, I suggest you get your favorite AI to explain it to you. MCP is the almost standardized protocol, model context protocol for models, that's large language models, establishing a context. And that is something that is really, really useful, as we maybe you have already experienced yourself or you have heard about. And not unsurprising, it's based on the Helidon runtime. So it's a microservice-based approach. So that MCP server that you have runs on Helidon. And maybe you remember Helidon from previous Siebel Fridays or Siebel Hub trainings. Helidon is also used in open integration and in the data archival feature. So Oracle is really pulling that a lot recently. And for good reason. It's a very good, very fast Java microservice. Let's call it the microservice. I think there's a slide coming up on that. And of course, when you think of, look at the screenshot, no, like there's a Siebel assistant you can create. I created that one ad hoc and I could prompt, for example, show me accounts, find opportunities, how many contacts. Yeah, so you do queries against Siebel. So the first thing that comes to your mind, somebody is querying Siebel. Who exactly is querying Siebel? Is it an anonymous user? Is it admin? Is it a real authenticated user and the user only seeing and interacting with the data they are supposed to see in Siebel? And that last answer is the correct one. So it must always be the real authenticated user that uses a different interface, maybe a chat interface, web chat, or Claude Code or Codex to use that MCP server to access Siebel data. And that's real Siebel data you see here in that list. So the security is the first and most important aspect. That is the data security. That is when basically you must establish a user session with a correct Siebel user, authenticated, authorized. And if they don't have access to anything, the MCP server doesn't retrieve it because it's Siebel REST in the end. So, or it's actually open integration, but it's REST. So AI connectors fully support any kind of authentication like JSON Web Tokens, JWT. And on the other side, this data, which I use the public LLM, a cloud LLM to query that data. That's obviously the sample database, so I'm not too concerned about security with that. But you should be if you share your your CRM data with a public LLM, and you can't do that because it leaves the building literally. So there's another piece of the puzzle security-wise. You cannot have your data leaking out onto somebody else's server, onto a frontier model vendor server like Anthropic or OpenAI. Especially in Europe, we just can't. it's there's actually laws against that. So what LLM you run is your choice. You can run an internal LLM or a highly secured LLM, or where the vendor says data doesn't leave our servers, etc. And also very interesting about this feature is that the MCP tools, the whole MCP server, there's no code. You just have JSON files that are, well, used at runtime to generate the MCP tools, the MCP server. So it's a no-code solution. And how does it work? So that MCP client, that could be anything that understands MCP or supports MCP, like your Cloud Desktop, um, your codecs running in PowerShell, your cursor, whatever, or any local LLM that is fit good enough to support MCP. It must be able to make tool calls and stuff. Then we have this generated MCP server. Remember the JSON files? Generate the MCP server at runtime. That's the Helidon part. And as per Oracle documentation and what I understood so far, is that it exclusively connects to Siebel open integration. So I did say open integration, you will hear about this. So it basically is required. Open integration is required for the AI connector. It's the only official data source. That is basically a REST API on top of Siebel, but not the Siebel REST API. It acts like the Siebel REST API. It interacts directly. That's another Helidon server, by the way. Interacts directly with the Siebel object manager, so that Siebel CRM down here is not the Tomcat, the external Tomcat. It's actually the object manager. So open integration, as you know, probably is a separate license. And so is the AI connector, I guess. I'm not sure about the last one. Um, but any of these Helidon-based products in the past.
Actually, this is Himanshu,
Oh, hi,
and
Himanshu. Good to see you.
yes, I'm with Oracle. And regarding your Siebel AI connectors, right now, at least since it uses open integration, and which is a licensed SKU,
Mhm.
so right now, at least, there is no special queue for Siebel AI connectors.
Oh, okay.
But
So, okay, that's
for
th
now,
thanks for
yes,
for now.
for now,
Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but yeah, you have to get that license for Siebel Open Integration. Then you can use, for now, AI connector on top of it. That's correct?
That is correct.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so also maybe Himanshu, while you're here, I I I just have the what I've just pointed out, that it's per documentation bookshelf. It's exclusively connecting to open integration, uh, but not by technical design. The MCP server can make HTTP calls, so you can connect to anything you like. But is that basically not supported, or how is the Oracle statement for that?
I would suggest that you open a service request on that one, and
Okay.
hopefully we'll get the official answer on that. Okay?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a great answer, and that's what you should do. Yeah. If you're unsure about how to use the product properly and in a supported way, ask Oracle how to use it. Yeah, and guess what? Siebel Hub has not been sleeping, so the team has been up all week to create a new training on Siebel AI connectors, which is also included in the major subscriptions. If you have already subscribed to, for example, the Siebel 26 Booster Pack, which is a great package of many recent technologies in Siebel over the past 1 or 2 years. You have AI connectors in there already, or you can purchase AI connector training separately. So always modular, always up to date on the Siebel Hub. So before we go into demo, let's recap open integration. That's another of these courses, by the way. So you can get in the booster pack or you can get separately. And open integration is the licensed SKU that Himanshu mentioned. That is a separate product that uses Helidon, creates a Helidon service that exposes a REST API, a very rich API that in turn exposes Siebel objects, that is business objects, business object data, business services, workflow processes. That sounds very familiar if you use Siebel REST. But in addition, it exposes Siebel UI objects, that is applets and views, and the whole business flow implemented by those applets and views. So that's the real headless approach. Siebel can run headless with all your customizations in terms of what is in the UI, what is clickable, what buttons, what methods, they are available through an API. So that's already great. That's already very cool. Imagine an LLM, yeah, doing gymnastics on top of that. But there's even more in 26.6. Just last month, Oracle added even more to open integration in terms of a flow control structure. That means you can create flows that reach out to Siebel, to Kafka topics, and orchestrate data transformation even. So I think Oracle is really is laser focused on open integration right now, because that's the next big thing to connect Siebel to anything, including LLMs. And you don't have to do it directly. You can use, or you should use, the AI connectors. And as I mentioned, it's based on the open source Halidon SE microservice, which is basically Java libraries that allow you to write microservices. And the SE4 Plus, which is used with AI connectors, uses, for example, a very fast web server called Nima. And I got that completely from the official website. So that's how it works. And if you want to read up on MCP, if you haven't already been diving into that topic, MCP is a standardized. It's now in the, well, what is a standard in IT? You know, XML is a standard without being a standard. And MCP will probably become the standard for LLMs interacting with other tools, with other data sources. So on the left side, you have the well, your Claudes and your codexes and your ChatGPTs, probably orchestrated through some other layers. And then you have the protocol that they all speak, and the MCP server provides access to tools and data. So it could be real data, like in a database. There's an MCP server for Oracle database. There's MCP servers for Google Drive, for files, for Git. There's thousands of MCP servers. So for Salesforce, for example, there is no MCP server for Siebel until now.
Actually, yes, until now. That's good.
Until
That's
now.
perfect.
Yeah. So now there is, and it's different because it's actually self-generating based on your input. Like, it's not a hard-coded MCP server from Oracle. It can only do this, it can only do that. It can do anything you want it to on top of Siebel, on top of the Siebel security. So that's a big difference here. Okay, so I guess now's a good time to maybe attempt a demo. So I'm attempting a demo. Give me one moment. Okay, be right with you. Okay, so you should see this window here, which is open
Yes.
integration. Let me resize that a little bit. So that is basically the open integration server started on my machine. So I'm not going into open integration much, but I installed it and I configured it. So it's now serving a few APIs. And I've also installed and configured the AI connector, which actually you see running here in this window. So you see oh, yeah, there's a little startup script I wrote, but this is, here you can see there's something listening on port 8600, Siebel AI connectors, MCP. So that's the MCP server that is up. I created a little sidecar server for serving stuff that is not typically served. So it's a field config server. And I created a little chat front end. You could use any chat front end, but on this machine it's isolated. So I hosted my own little chat front end. So that's a real like the web chat UI or Libre chat. You can use any of these. And for this demo, I'm using Olama Cloud. So somewhere inside here is an API key for Llama Cloud. So it's a public cloud, and I can pick a few middle tier models. Let's say they're not frontier, they're middle tier, they're quite big. So they should all be capable of doing the MCP stuff, the tool calling, and understand the output. Not any model can. So if you go down the ladder to the very tiny models, the very specialized models, they don't understand what MCP is. The frontier models, of course, they have no problem. And the mid-tier models, which you probably can run without much trouble on your own hardware, they are quite good for this. Because one thing I found out over the past few months, I worked a lot with MCP servers and smaller models that I ran on smaller and smaller hardware, is that MCP servers, when they're really well built, they can make a inferior model very clever. So that is the effect of an MCP server. It gives your model superpowers. It's like Neo, you know Neo on the chair learning Kung Fu by if you watch The Matrix, I'm sure you do. You did. Uh, there's this guy inserting the Kung Fu disk and uploading it to Neo's brain. And that's like an MCP service uploading Kung Fu to your small model. So these now know not Kung Fu, but Siebel. So let's stick with GPT OSS. I've ran a few queries here and you see some data coming back. So let's run a live query. I have a few pre-builts here. So list the first 5 accounts whose name starts with A. And obviously this is about Siebel accounts. And those 5 accounts should come back. So now it goes to the MCP server. The MCP server tells it what exactly to do to find that. And then Siebel Open Integration is queried. And of course, it's not working probably because it's a live demo and it never works. Let's give it some more time. Maybe things have to be just warming up. Or not. Yeah, doing live demos for 25 years and I'm still doing it. It's probably something has stopped. Check. Okay. Yeah, it was me. Okay, now it should come back. You know, when you click inside these command boxes, yeah, you basically stop the process. So here are the first 5 accounts with A and 5 accounts starting with A. Okay, coming back. You also see the tools it calls. I didn't tell it what field to query with A or asterisk or whatever. So the first thing it is told to do by the MCP server is get the correct field names, because the field names in integration objects exposed or in the data objects exposed by the REST API, they can change. There can be a new field added by your developers. So I don't like hard-coded lists of fields in the MCP server. I like a little sidecar server that gives me the field names through the REST API, of course. And then it starts actually runs the query. So let's type something in. It's only supporting read-only access to accounts right now. It's very small. So it doesn't do anything you can do in Siebel. But in theory, or in real life, you could even write back to Siebel, like create an account or add this contact to whatever. So let's ask it for show details for, oops. Oh, that's my keyboard running away. What's happening? For A.G. Edwards. So notice I'm not typing the entire name or the row ID. Let's hope this works. And I want to see some more details for A.G. Edwards. So shouldn't be too much trouble. And it picks some fields and shows me the value of these fields. So that's a very short demo. it's live. It's a real MCP server running on this machine, a real chat interface that I purpose built for this little demo. But you can imagine this being Claude Desktop or bigger LLMs. But if it's a public LLM like this one, I always I have to say it's Olama Cloud, and I've now shared this data with Olama Cloud. It's the sample database, so I should be okay with it. But if it's your production data, don't do this. Don't do this. These models must run somewhere safe. Otherwise, you're sharing data with somebody you don't want to share. Yeah, I think that's the biggest hurdle you have to take. It's the hurdle for creating the MCP server, for interacting, your LLM interacting with Siebel is very low, but the security hurdle to run your own LLM in a secure space, that becomes even bigger as we speak. Okay, so a lot of warnings here. All right, so that was a little bit extended demo on the new AI connector, and hope you liked it. Any comments from your side? Any question? I see Stefan has raised a hand. Stefan? No question.
Actually, yeah, I think people are liking it. And uh, Alex, I did not inform you in advance. I have a similar demo using MCP server. And if you are okay, I can show you that detail. And just to give you a context, this is for product administrator. And again, uh, let's get feedback from other people on your demo first. And I just want to know if people have time and are interested in one more demo
Oh,
around the same time,
oh
same
yes,
line.
absolutely. You mean right now you're ready to
Yes,
share?
yes,
Go. Oh yeah,
yes,
that would be super great. Yeah, wow. uh,
yeah.
uh, and it would be even better than my little demo, I'm quite sure. So,
No, I won't say that. Your demo was perfect. Your demo was good. Means you really showed it what exactly is we are doing here.
okay. So yeah, so please go ahead and share, Himanshu. So we will
Yeah. Okay.
be delighted
So
to see
yeah,
your
you see
demo.
my PowerPoint here.
Yeah, it's coming up. Okay.
Okay. So I think the date is a little bit outdated. Other than that one, rest of the information is accurate. We are talking to you in July. We release these sample apps in April or May, end of April, beginning of May. So that's why the date is a little old. What exactly we are doing here? So we are introducing this product model analyzer, and those ones we are releasing it as a sample application. So the main challenge is that over a period, the customers who are using Siebel for a long time, the product model grows and it becomes complex. And these large models can have some structural issues, and that can impact your quoting and ordering performance, order capture performance. And then identifying these issues manually can be time consuming because each individual customizable product can be pretty huge. We have seen customers with 3,000 child components in the entire structure, and they have different relationships, as you can see over here. And those relationships can have child structure, and that child structure can keep going. And then apart from relationship, there is a concept of constraints, and then there are versions of these customizable products. Multiple versions can be active in your environment, and there it can be pretty daunting to understand what exactly is happening and which particular relationship is causing any concern or on other things. So knowing this one, we started with an e-script approach. So and that e-script approach is in a way how to identify and fix hidden product catalog issues. And in that one, we found certain patterns that can have an issue with your product model. So, for example, number of domain products that you have. So you can have uh, a class or dynamic class relationship, and in that class or dynamic class relationship, you can have a lot of child products. And if you have too many products, again means we are not restricting that you shouldn't have too many products, but if that means at least to understand how your model is, for that one, just to know how many relationships you have, so you can do a count. And over here for this rule in eScript, we take an input argument to say that okay, if you have more than 100 products, list only those relationships. So that is the rule that it will run. Then let's see, you have a anonymous class, means check if class is not defined for relationship of type dynamic class or class. So you have a relationship in the structure and you haven't defined any class to that one. In that case, the C++ code or the code that we have has to go and look at all the classes, and it becomes difficult. So in that case, the product administrator should assign some classes and do remodeling in that one. That's the approach that we say. Then the single product, you have only one product in a relationship, but you are still using dynamic class or class relationship. Or product relationship has class. So you are using a product relationship, but you are saying that it is a class relationship. So this is means plus we wanted to give some extensibility also, and that one we are already doing through the eScript. So we are providing a eScript business service. You can run these rules, whichever rules you want, and then get the results on that one. Then another team in our this one looked at this requirement and they said that okay, can we use 26 AI, means can we use AI technology to do this one? And then they thought with this particular approach. So there is a one-time setup. So what we are doing is that moving your existing data, the product administrator related data, means product administration or product catalog related tables that we know, into a 26 AI database. And that one we are doing using the Python one. We are providing that Python script also. And then with that one, uh, once you have that information in 26 AI database, then on that 26 AI database, we have an MCP server running on that one. And that is, again, open source MCP server that you have. And then you can ask the questions that you would have about your product model. And then we have trained that product model to understand a little bit of ontology that we know. For example, yes, products can be associated to class, and class can have hierarchy. Then products are version. Then products can have relationship. Then relationship can be of class type or a product type or dynamic class type. And then there are domain products and all those things. So we have given some intelligence to that whole product modeling aspect of it. And then there could be attributes and all those things. And based on that one, we tried certain predefined, means I mentioned about to you those 5 rules that we set. So those 5 rules are the first 5 rules, and then you can do those ones in plain English language instead of doing through e-business, e-script, or just running those ones. And then some other ones also you could do it. At this point, I'll just turn to my chat GPT over here. Not chat GPT, sorry, my product model analyzer window. And you can see that this is the user experience that you will have. Again, I have this MCP server running on this particular port, and right now we are using the ChatGPT 5.2 model, And we have tried different models, and that model worked out well. So that's why we are using that one. And again, means as Alex mentioned, that if you are going to use it, yes, it can leave your this one. You have to be careful on that aspect altogether. But now you can, I already ran this find for each class, show me how many distinct domain products are present in its class or dynamic class relationship. So it is showing the distinct domain product count relationship. And for that one, whatever is the uh, generated SQL PGQL, it is showing it in here also. Then for each product, show me how many distinct domain products are in class or dynamic class, group by product and relationship latest version, show only where domain count exceeds 30. So I have, means I could configure this value in here, and then it is showing all the relationships that we have it in here. And again, this is just our internal data. This is definitely we are not using in any production, but whatever data that we have, it's running in here. If you use it in your environment and if you have the model and everything in your setup, then you can do some queries. And this is just the tables. That means our objective was to help product administrators for identifying. And the difference between these two, the eScript and MCP one, is that eScript is working only on one customizable product, whereas the MCP is working on the entire product model that you have. It is taking into account your classes, it can take into account your promotions, bundle promotions. So it can do wide range of queries that you could do, and you're literally doing it using natural language like this one. Check if any inactive products are part of active promotion. So this is literally a no. You don't want to run into this issue. And then whatever are the products that it is finding, it is showing. Then so it is giving you all this information in here. And just to show you that, I'll take one more query in here, and let's see if find inactive products or work with duplicate or active constraints. So find all products where in their latest version, multiple active constraint rules share the same one. So I'm just running it, and again, it's going to this one. And the reason why we are doing it with 26 AI database, because it provides this GraphQL, and then why we are providing these migrating scripts is because we know that customers might not have migrated to 26 AI database yet, and that's why we are just providing it. So again, over here, these are some of the constraints that are duplicates, and it's providing that information also. And again, once you have this information, I think you can extend it to even include pricing information. And if you include pricing information, then you can do analysis of which are the products or services that we are selling well. I think those kind of things. So sky is the limit, and this one will be all possible through English language, or whatever language that your model supports. Just to going back to the slide, if you are interested in any of these sample apps, request for this patch IDs, you have to open a service request, and then it comes with a detailed recording how to use this business service or how to use this MCP layer and how to configure it and all those things. And there is a README file, and then you can deploy it in your own environment. And then if you means we are just understanding, if you like this tool, we should continue to invest. That's why we are releasing it as a sample app. If you like it, provide the feedback. I'm the product manager for this one, product owner. And if you like it, then we will take it further and bring it into the product also, especially the eScript one. This other one is completely, this 26 AI one is completely outside of Oracle, Siebel. So we are just extracting the data and then doing some natural language queries. That's it I had.
Yeah, thank you very much, Himanshu. Yeah, please give it up for Himanshu. And that was a great, ad hoc demo. And I'm quite sure basically what you do with the AI connector is going into the same direction, or
Actually,
is it?
this is means this is a sample app that is using directly the data, and that is
Yeah,
going through the 26 AI database. So it is not going through the REST APIs or anything.
yes,
Okay,
but you,
so we would definitely not recommend you to update information through this one and going directly to the database. This is mainly for your queries or read-only access,
mhm, yeah,
right?
and
Because
as you said,
you will completely bypass the Siebel logic in that case if you are
yeah,
going to write.
you
Yeah,
bypassed, especially the security boundaries,
correct. Correct.
completely bypassed, and
Yeah,
again, the LLM should be an LLM that you have control over,
yes,
especially if it's your production data or any
yes,
data that you don't want to share with the outside world.
yes.
Uh, okay, yeah, great stuff. Thank you very much. So, yeah, I'll share again. And while you were presenting this, I have just moved to the Siebel info portal. And the Siebel info portal is maintained by Oracle, of course, and it's a great resource and it's often updated. So recently there was an addition to the very sample applications. I think that goes in line with what you were mentioning. Those two applications you demonstrated, they are sample
Correct.
applications. And
Yeah,
there are a few more that you are planning or have already produced, and they are released already, like the crash analyzer. There's an eScript memory leak analyzer, and they all seem to be published in the same style as a patch on my Oracle support that you have to request access for. Is that correct?
that is correct. Yes.
Okay, okay, understand. So they're not kind of things you can download anywhere. You have to always go to my
Yeah,
Oracle
and
support.
Uh, Alex, let me comment on that if I may.
Yeah, sure. Hi,
The,
Brian.
the reason for that is, as Himanshu alluded to a moment ago, these are things that we're not sure we want to make part of the GA product.
Ah, mhm.
But we want to get them out there quickly. And we want to, most importantly, we want to get feedback. Are they useful? And so by requiring you to request them, that alone tells us people are at least mildly interested because we get the request. But then secondly, we know who to follow up with and get feedback.
Okay, great. Great
As
idea.
opposed to just putting them out there in the wild and having no idea if anyone's using them or interested or whatever. So that's
Mhm.
the rationale behind this is we really need feedback. And if you do like something, let us know. Because if you don't, we may think no one's using it or no one's interested.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So, and in some of these cases, you mentioned the eScript memory leak analyzer, we'd like to extend that to, or I mean, theoretically, we'd like to extend that to do more than just look for memory leaks, right? But
Yeah.
if no one's showing any interest, then we won't.
Mhm.
Okay. So
Okay.
this is a way for us to get things out faster and find and get feedback. So
Okay.
anyway, so everyone here should understand that try these out if you have any interest at all and give us the feedback or they'll just die.
Okay. You heard the man. You heard the man. Thanks, Brian. And it's a great initiative from Oracle to put little sample applications out in the not so wild, so that is in a controlled manner. And as you said, trying to get feedback, trying to test it, literally get the pulse right on what
Yeah,
is interesting
exactly.
and what not.
Exactly.
So yeah, this is a new page that popped up a few days ago on the
actually,
Siebel.
I'll just make a comment that we are releasing these apps at such a rapid pace that my two apps are not listed here. So I need to go back.
Yeah,
I need to go back and ask our Oracle team to add those ones in here.
yeah,
Thank you
because
for
Go
pointing
ask,
that.
of course there should be
go
at
ask
least
John where
one.
they are.
There should be at least one page where people can look up, okay, what applications am I supposed to be interested in? And okay, so I think that's the page, and that's also mentioned. So doing the segue here to the
sorry,
statement
real
of
quick,
direction.
each of them also should get an independent blog post as they are released. So you don't have to come look here. And if you're not subscribed to that blog already, you should be. If you're on this call, you should be on that.
Yeah. So either on, look it up on the Siebel CRM blog from Oracle. There are, I can remember reading, there's the crash analyzer article, and also the product graph that was published a while ago. I remember that one. And the sample applications also mentioned in the statement of direction that was published a few weeks ago, or just, literally days ago. And I can show you the statement of direction here live, live on the stream, if you will, because it's public. It's a link on the public info portal, and you can get to the public link. And the Oracle people in the room, they can hold me back, but that's intentional, I guess, because it's the first time a document like this was declared, well, public, says here. Usually you had to download it from Oracle support as well. So we have on Siebel Hub, we already published a summary, but of course it's a good read. I will not go through it and read it, but the sample applications are one part of features and enhancements that are planned or are already in motion for the immediate future of Siebel CRM. So anybody who is interested in what is Oracle planning for the near immediate future of Siebel, that's written in that public statement of direction. And I'm sure you know all this and you have already downloaded and consumed it. Okay, let me check if there's some more slides I need to show.
Actually, I just copied those two blogs in the chat. If anyone.
Okay, thank you very much. And I see the patch IDs as well. Yeah. Okay, so we have been, we still have a few things about 26.7. So let's continue on that. 26.7 did not only give us the AI connector, a real MCP server on top of Siebel Open Integration. It also gives the marketing customers who are using Siebel Marketing for a long time a utility to migrate the marketing segments that are now deprecated to analysis, which is the new way of hooking up basically lists of targets, target lists made in analytics to campaigns. Siebel marketing people out there in the chat, please correct me if I'm wrong. It has been a while since I've been using or teaching Siebel marketing, but I always loved the segment designer, and I was really bummed when it was deprecated. It is now, it's a fact. So Oracle provides a migration path to analysis and even utility. So if you're interested in that, there's documentation in the bookshelf guides, definitely. So this goes back to last year when the official deprecation was announced. So OBIE still has the segmentation, but if you migrate to the latest OAS, Oracle Analytics Server, you will no longer find the segment designer or support for segments. So this has all been replaced by analysis and so-called analysis collections. Okay, and for the REST users, there also is two interesting things I found while reading Bookshelf, is that there is now for outbound REST, you can define a input property into the outbound dispatcher service call you make. It's called preserve property order. And that means the JSON response that the outbound request gets back from the endpoint will be transformed into a Siebel property set, and it will preserve the order of the fields or whatever properties are inside that JSON object. So the JSON object order will be preserved. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And that can be useful, definitely. And the other thing that I personally find very, very useful, having played with MCP servers on top of the repository, as soon as you go down to links, URLs have forward slashes. And in Siebel, links have forward slashes in the name, like account/contact. And so you cannot create a URL that gives you the information about this link or lets you access it. And I had an AI work on that problem, and it came up with a very similar approach. But now it's official that is actually not a Siebel feature or a Siebel enhancement. It's basically a turn on a feature of Tomcat, which has a funny name, encoded solidus handling, set it to pass through. The solidus is the forward slash. So you have basically backslash and forward slash. And you can allow this to pass through, and then it will be not. So you can pass it through encoded, and it will not be. It will be accepted, and it will work. Yeah, so that's the short story. So that is now documented in bookshelves. It's an official tweak of Tomcat, if I might say. And also, yeah, the trickle down feature from probably digital business experience, where the integration with Launch is already productized to on-prem, is that you can integrate your on-prem Siebel with the Oracle Communications Launch cloud service. That is a basically product catalog, product administration integration. More on that in the two guides that I pointed out here, the Siebel Order Management Guide and the Launch Cloud Guide. And we talked about statement of direction already. So, and there is also, as is already tradition, Oracle has announced the dates for the Siebel Summit events in 2026, later this year. So they will be in September, end of September, in 29th, 30th in Toronto, the North America Summit. I think that's a first that there is a Siebel Summit in North America, or there hasn't been one for a long time. We had them in Europe for quite a lot of them, actually. And there's one in Europe as well this year in 6-7 October in Utrecht. And there's one in India, 22nd, 23rd October in Bangalore. Oracle has, they put a link on the Siebel info portal. And if you go to the Oracle events page, you will find the registration link. So the Siebel Hub will be there. So we and everybody at the Siebel Hub looking forward to meet you in person, to meet the Oracle team and partners and customers and Siebel Hub friends in Toronto and Utrecht this year. So who's going? Anyone? Anyone going? Anyone registered already?
We'll try to get to Utrecht.
Okay, see you in Utrecht.
Yeah.
You're all welcome to demand my presence at any of them.
Okay, you heard Brian.
Yeah.
Okay, let's chant this into existence.
Yeah.
Wow, Brian, that's an interesting way to put it like that.
Yeah, Himanshu, do you want to come too?
It'll
I would
never
love
get
to.
approved if I ask, but as some
Yeah,
of you know from last year, enough
I would
people
love
asked that I
to.
got to do it.
I think for sure means I do like to meet with customers and partners, no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the thing is that exchanging ideas and understanding how you are using our product definitely helps us improving it in the right direction. Because so yeah, and I'm happy to means again, it's nowadays traveling, yes, good, but a lot of personal things are happening in life. So even if you just want to have a chat with me, happy to get onto a call and have a conversation.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Himanshu, and also Brian and the entire team at Oracle really doing a great job and staying in contact with customers and improving the product. That's always such a pleasure to see. Yeah, okay, that brings us to almost the end of today. There was when you register for the Siebel Fridays, there is a link. I'm sending out emails and sending out the links. There was a little issue with the first link I sent, so sorry for that. It was the wrong Zoom session. But next time I only sent the registration links, so make sure through Zoom you get the correct link. So the next Siebel Friday is, of course, planned for August, and the registration is out there. And when you register, you can put in basically questions or things that you would like to discuss or improve the meeting. There's a field in the registration form, and some people filled out the form, and there has been one question from Alok. Alok is here today. Hi, Alok.
Hi, Alex. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Alok.
So my question was that I'm not sure if how many people are, actually using it. That is the application splash text. That is an AOM parameter, and it is only effective after you restart the component. So, Alex, if you can show like a login page.
Yeah, just 1 second.
Yeah, so that is something you can have some custom text on the application login page saying that uh, release 1.2, release 1.3. That is the internal
So that
internal version. Yeah, instead
that
of
that is the splash text right here.
Yeah.
That
So we can customize it. We can put whatever text we want. The only thing is, suppose if we have an internal version, say 1.2, and we just migrated 1.3, that is all done with zero downtime, as it has been since so many years. But just to change the application splash text, you have to restart the object manager. So, it would be nice if that parameter would be like effective immediately. Just a thought, and I think we discussed that there is a kind of workaround which you can do in postload.js, but again, that is, I guess, not recommended.
Yeah, basically
So,
you can have a custom JavaScript on that login page that
yeah.
changes the text. So that's not even a workaround.
Yeah, so just my thought, if anybody has used this, or is there any plan to make this effective immediately? That's me. Thanks.
Yeah, so yeah, if anybody has experience with that, and Alok pointed out the issue that you basically have a no downtime migration, and you want to show like the version number in the splash text, right?
Yeah, Alex, that's correct. And if you go to the server management like that screen, you can actually see that parameter.
Yeah,
on the
it's a parameter that you can set, but it's effective only on component restart.
So there are multiple parameters, and you've
So I just did a mock update. So
oh,
so, yeah.
okay, you already did that. Yeah, but that is the correct way of doing is from the changing the parameter. Yes, and unfortunately, that is only effective after component restart.
So it's probably an enhancement request.
Which exact parameter are you talking about?
Yeah, it's actually, yes, if Alex, you can show.
To SMC or something.
It should be application splash text.
Application or CFG
Yeah.
application splash
And
text.
then what are you trying to change it to? That's what I'm missing. What are you trying to?
To include the version number, for example, the internal
Yeah.
release number in the splash text to distinguish when you see the login page. Typically, you have to look at the URL exactly what environment am I. So people change that a lot, yeah. So
Yeah, I
exactly.
understand changing it. What I'm not following is why you want to change it frequently.
Windows a new release, right?
Yeah, that's like internal release. Like if we have done some agile development and then we migrate that release, internal release.
Okay, so you want to know when someone's logging in, you want to know that they're getting.
Yeah, because it's for the user, it's like they don't know if there is any migration happened or if there is any new functionality which is delivered. So that's the only way for them to know, like, oh, there's a new release.
That's the one. CFG applications.
I don't know how they. Okay, I mean, okay, I understand the requirement. I don't understand how an end user would possibly know what to do with that information, but that's fine. The requirement to have it updated.
Effective immediately,
Yeah.
basically. That's the requirement that
Yes, well, file a SR with an enhancement request.
Mhm.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, Brian.
Okay, yeah. So yes, so one of these 500 plus parameters.
Yes.
Okay, Stefan has something. Stefan thinks it refreshes on next task. It says so, yeah, effective next task. So, but
Next task for a object manager's kind of a
is not
like, what does that really mean?
not necessarily the next session, right?
Right, exactly. It's just not exactly the same thing
Mhm.
as it would be for, say, a workflow process or, async work process. The next one that comes in as a server request would respect to the change. But
Yeah.
for an OM, you're not necessarily getting a new task. You're
Probably gets through if you wait for a long time. So you really
eventually it'll show up.
get on a real next task. That is
Yeah,
a new.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. And with that, yeah, thank you very much for all the input and all the demonstrations. And yeah, it was a great opportunity to see you again on this hot summer day, and hope to see you again next time on last
Alex, I had a
Friday
question
of August.
on your AI connector demo. Which of
Yeah.
those pieces was what you created versus what comes with the AI connector?
So the AI connector, that's the MCP server. That's
Okay. But the chat window, like where you were
the,
talking to
the chat window.
Olama.
The Olama based chat window. I just literally vibe coded on top of it to have a little demo.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's all I did. And I had
All right.
this
Just curious.
yeah. And the sidecar for the fields was out of necessity. Just to explain what this does, you can request the fields from Siebel, describe the business object.
Right. Yeah.
But it gives you a really big JSON object back, not just the field. It gives you a lot more information. And that was overwhelming the small LLMs that I've been using. So I basically had a little sidecar service that queries those fields in real time, but then strips out all the JSON that's not necessary and just returns an array of field names. So a stripped down version. And honestly, open integration could have done that. If I invested more time, I could have had a data mapping within open integration to do exactly that. So I wouldn't need that sidecar. Okay, hope this makes sense.
Yep. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Then, yeah, thank you very much. And see you next time. Have a great time.